Welcome to Books in Sum, your go-to for bite-sized book summaries.
What Do Women Want? By Daniel Bergner. With What Do Women Want? The author seeks to unveil the secrets of women's sexuality, claiming that women aren't all that different from men when it comes to those heartbeat-quickening, lust-inducing, brain-befogging things. The author argues that social norms often dictate women's sexuality, and that the story has always been told from a male perspective, so what we claim to know about women and desire should be taken with a liberal pinch of salt. In the 16th century, male scientists discovered the role of the ovum for reproduction, and the female libido was regarded as being of minor importance. In more recent history, women's sexuality was mislabeled, with evolutionary psychologists claiming that genes made women desire security in relationships. Dr. Chivers, a scientist specializing in sexology, conducted an experiment to debunk the myths surrounding the female libido. She used a plethysmograph to measure women's reactions to provocative footage, such as heterosexual and homosexual intercourse, masturbation, and even bonobos mating. The conclusion was eye-opening. Women, regardless of sexual orientation, were aroused by all kinds of footage, even images of copulating apes. Men, however, reacted along more predictable lines. They were only aroused by images compatible with their sexual orientation and had no interest in the mating bonobos. The study showed that women often misunderstand their own desire, and science is only starting to scratch the surface of it. Many arguments have been put forward to explain the differences between men's and women's awareness of their own sexuality. Anatomy is one factor that could lead us to an answer, as penises grow and shrink in accordance with sexual excitement. However, women's anatomy often sends messages that are difficult to interpret. Social environments also influence women, making it even harder for them to decipher their desires. One Ohio State University study asked 200 undergraduates about their pornography consumption and masturbation habits, and found that women in the second group, unlike women in the first, reported that they neither masturbated nor watched pornography. Dr. Chivers, in another experiment, discovered that, out of several scenarios, one triggered particular arousal among women: X-rated stories involving strangers. Observing animals provides a window into women's desire, as it is often the females who go after sex and display bullying behavior, coercing males into sex. Research has shown that female rhesus monkeys select males and invite them to copulate until their interest dwindles, and they dismiss them. Animals also demonstrate that desire and pleasure, not just reproduction, may play a role in mating. Recent studies have indicated more male-like behavior among women, and Nielsen recently issued a report stating that 1 in every 3 porn users was female. Social norms regarding women's sexuality may explain the development of certain types of fantasies, such as fantasies about assault and coercion. One possible explanation for this is that being desired is central to women's libido, and women's sexual drive depends heavily on the extent to which they feel desired by their partner. Researchers have found that women's sexual issues are usually more psychological than genital or hormonal, and that monogamy may not be their ideal form of relationship. Fear may play a role in the arousal of certain women, and Bivona and Critelli theorize that these fantasies help women to eradicate guilt from their desire. Additionally, evolutionary reasons may also shed light on why a woman's desire might wane. In one study, anthropologists and primatologists observed monkeys and found that male langur monkeys commonly committed infidelity. Women's bodies and sexuality have been at the center of many discussions and studies throughout the 20th century, and Freud's theories on the topic were challenged in the 1970s. Freud compared female clitoral stimulation to burning pine shavings and vaginal stimulation to a hardwood fire, and feminists argued that if a woman's pleasure was solely dependent on the vagina, then it was connected to men's satisfaction. In the 1980s, focus shifted from the clitoris to the G-spot, which has been studied since the 1940s and is believed to be found along the interior of the vaginal front wall. The scientific debate over its existence still continues, and some women are able to orgasm without the assistance of physical touch, but it does seem to prove that the brain is involved. Speed dating is a popular event in the 1990s in Los Angeles, where a rabbi had the idea to make it easier to match potential partners. The setup is simple: a large room, tables and chairs, and a group of men and women. At the end of the night, both the men and women submit their verdict for each partner: yes if they want to meet again, no if they don't. Studies have shown that women are more selective than men, but a new approach to speed dating recently cast doubt on this conclusion. When women move from table to table, they said yes to a second meeting just as frequently as men did. This suggests that women may be as or even more sexually driven than men. However, the sexuality and sexual desires of women still remain a mystery. There is still a great deal of exploring to be done.
We hope you found this summary helpful in your listening journey. If you're interested in diving deeper into the topic or getting your hands on the whole book, be sure to check the description below where we've included links to the book and other related products that may be useful to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our latest book summaries. And feel free to leave a comment with any suggestions or requests for books you'd like us to cover. Thanks again for tuning in and happy listening.